to the Stevie Mac podcast. So sit back,
What is up,
relax,
everyone?
chill,
Hope
and
all is well.
enjoy
It's your
this
boy,
show.
Stevie Mac, coming back to you, and I have a fitness influencer, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu trainer, retired MMA fighter, author. Man, he is an inspiration to a lot of people on here. So I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Brandon Midwest Kong Copeland. Man, how you doing today?
Oh man, I got tired of listening to you say that. I did a lot, huh? I did a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something too, man. The way the fitness industry going, man, I'm gonna have to get a new title, man. That influencer thing don't sound too good by the way the industry looking.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
it's a lot of guys that kind of, well, let me not say guys, a lot of people kind of put a bad taste in people's mouth with their influencer title. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying. I seen a couple of your posts about some of
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's why I'm not in the good old boy club, man. They don't like real authenticity. They don't like that.
They don't like the truth.
They don't like to hear that shit from me. So I just back off.
You know. All right, man. So, for the people who don't know the Kong persona, who were you before the gym and before all the spotlight and all the social media and stuff?
um do you know what's funny? So we had talked about it before, and it's somebody else just asked me that.
Uh-huh.
I did a podcast the other day, and it's Midwest Kong. So the nickname Kong come from so I got real bad carpal tunnel, right? This is
Hmm.
back in the MMA days. And then
Yeah.
I used to have to take my oldest daughter with me to train.
Hmm.
And when I crawled on the floor, I always crawled on my fists.
Yeah.
And my daughter at the time was like 4. She's 22 now. She's like 4. Just like, oh, Dad, you look like the gorilla from Jungle Book, right? So
Hmm.
the whole MMA gym bust out laughing. They thought it was the greatest thing in the world. So they originally started calling me Gorilla. That's what they called me in the cage, was Brandon Gorilla Copeland, the Gorilla
Hmm.
Copeland. And a few things that I did, and it was funny because I'm like, man, y'all took that as a joke. Well, it became very marketable. So
Yeah.
my celebration after I won in the cage was me crawling on my fist, you know, and people loved it. Everybody loved it. So it actually took off. And oddly enough, King Kong was always my favorite movie growing up. I was fascinated with gorillas growing up. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's probably one of the best reports I've ever did in school was about about gorillas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so as it evolved, Kong came along because it sounded a little better than gorilla, right? And when I got in the fitness industry, I used to be in Cali a lot. So everybody thought I was from California. So I was
Hmm.
like, nah, nobody really represents fitness to that capacity from the Midwest. At least I don't know if they from here. I know a guy from my city's named Lex Little. He got a big following, but he just go by his name or whatever. But I said put Midwest Kong on it. And that's what coined it. So but as far as the persona is never been nothing different. That's one of the biggest compliments I get when I go out in public to these events is I'm the same person they see on social media and the lives. And I feel like as a social media presence or person with a platform, that's a huge compliment. And I think people should take that as and cherish that, more than just all the piece of strength and shit like that. Like when somebody tell you you the same, that means nothing changed you. And I've seen it change people, unfortunately. I'm recently watching it do
Yeah.
it now. Unfortunately, I'm watching it do it to some really good people. So
Yeah.
the fact that, and this is one of the reasons why I tell people all the time, I could have $1,000,000, but wouldn't nobody know. I don't show cars. I don't show nothing
Yeah.
because, it develops a false sense of security of support. Oh, he got cool this, he got cool that. No, you see
Hmm.
me in the gym. You see me in my jujitsu when nights is over with. You see me do my content there. And that's what I show, and of course there's other things going on I might, but I won't be showing too much of a lifestyle stuff because I don't want people to look at oh, he got this and that. Now I don't have $1 million. We can scratch that right now. I wish I don't have that, but I don't need to show other things because I don't want that to be who they like. I want that to be
Yeah.
who they like as a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. That's what's up, man. So what moment in your life made you say, "I'm done playing small and it's time to be something bigger"? You know what I mean? Like with all the things that you do, like
It was just always the unexpected, man. I developed that mentality in my 20s. I'll be 46 in June. So I come from a place where they say, as a black man, you either dead or in jail by 21. And
mhm,
unfortunately, that was the statistics back when I was growing up.
yeah.
Uh, if you want to hide something from a book, or if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. Damn. That's crazy. So they are saying that black men don't
Yeah.
read. Okay. So then they said black men don't take care of their kids. And that was all the things I heard in the 90s, 80s, and 90s growing up.
Mhm,
And I'm like, well, I'm going to do the unthinkable. So I got custody of my oldest daughter when she was 3.
mhm,
Oh, no, 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 no. I'm lying. I'm sorry. Eventually, the full custody came through. I had some issues for some reason. Her mother dropped her off, never came back. So she was
mhm,
10 months, actually. She was 10 months. I just didn't do the
yeah.
proper things to go to court to make it official. Um,
Mhm,
I wrote a book, got my first children's book published in 2018, The New Kid. Um, and I'm 46, so I lived past the expiration date. However, 2004, I was
mhm,
stabbed 9 times. So,
mhm,
that was a wake up call then. So when I realized that I did a lot of things that was unexpected, I'm like, damn, like I can, at this point in the stuff that life has hit me with, there ain't nothing I can't overcome because I was almost murdered. So that was one. That was pretty life changing. Then
mhm,
raising a daughter, man, I wasn't ready for that. Shout out to my mother
yeah.
and all, women who helped me raise my child, man, because I didn't know how to be a father to a girl. My oldest daughter, she grew up box. She was tough. She still is. She a little soft
Mhm.
now because she had women in her life. But my oldest daughter was a monster. She was
Yeah.
competitive, but I was raising a son to an extent.
Yeah.
Because that's all I knew. I was scared. I got to make sure nobody pick on her, and then she got to understand. So what I was creating was a tough little girl, which is fine. But then she started putting her hands on people every time she had a problem.
Yeah.
So now I got to
Yeah.
start getting her hit the mitts and boxing and to subdue that little aggression. But I was doing it because
Yeah.
I didn't know how to be a father to a girl, and I
Mhm.
learned along the way how that works. And each one of my kids have made me understand parenting. And that was one of my biggest things when I started becoming a better parent. And I'm still working on that because, as parents, you got kids?
Yeah, I got 5, 4 girls, 1
Okay.
boy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You told me that. Okay. So, we always
Yeah.
on the chopping block. We put ourselves there. Damn, I could have did
Yeah.
this right. When they make a mistake, we like, damn, they could be way in China somewhere. We don't know, but we should have told them before that happened. So we always on our own case, right?
Yeah.
Nobody can tell us worse than we tell ourselves, especially as dads with girls.
Oh,
So,
man.
that's tough. So each and every one of the girls, because I got 3 girls and 1 boy, and all of the girls, um, I had a incident with my middle daughter when I was very immature. Well, not an incident, but me and her mother split. I wasn't ready to get married. See, I'm transparent, right? This is why motherfucker. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. This is why people can't
Oh, you
expose
good,
me,
brother.
dude. I tell it. I tell it all, bro. My middle daughter, man. One of my biggest mistakes was not being mature enough to be the father that she needed after me and her mom split.
Mhm.
And at the time, money was tough, so they moved out of the city, and it was just hard. So me and her haven't had that connection that as a father, the father I am, that I need. She's great. She's in college. She played golf. Uh, but that was kind of a turning point. Like, okay, you got to be better. Like you can't just be the protector. You got to be all of the other things that these girls need. And
Yeah.
so that was one of that turned me around the most when I had lost that connection with her over the years and, developing. And that's one of the biggest regrets was that with my middle child.
Hmm.
So I knew like, man, you was childish. I don't blame kids for nothing except, the typical, because I know where my head was at. And I know
Yeah.
that I was bitter, and I know that things was going down for me. I wasn't uh good for her mother, and that's okay, but you got a child. So at 26, 27 years old, about to be 27, I didn't understand how much damage that could cause. And
Yeah.
her stepfather is great, her family's great, so she is cool in that regard. But now it's up to me. It's up to me these last few years to go at her pace. So when I realized that, then I realized now, okay, you gotta start that ego. It's done. You a father,
Yeah.
man. You ain't gotta be the tough, you ain't gotta be all that. The kids already know what time it is with you.
Yeah.
And
Most
so
definitely.
when I did that, that's kind of when it started changing me and wanting to be better in all aspects now, be a better example. So with each one of my kids, man, I learned a lesson. My son, I'm learning a lesson with him currently. He's a good kid, but at this day and age, he want to be a fool. So we got to stay in his head. And I don't have any bad kids' mothers. I don't even call them baby mamas. I don't. It don't work that way because we don't have nothing to be mad at each other about. We got kids. That's
Yeah.
it. And I work
Most
well
definitely.
with I work well with my kid's mom. So my baby girl, like she taught me the full affection, full love. She taught me all of that. I have loved my kids, but she taught me how to outwardly show it.
Hmm.
And when she did that, that's when things started clicking too. Like for some reason, she came in and that just tore me up. I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know. She was the one. I don't know what it was. But
Yeah.
that one is truly my last true love. I tell people all the time, like, that's my last true love. So she taught me how to be more affectionate and emotional with my other ones. So
Yeah. Most
then that's
definitely.
when she helped me grow. 16 years old now, she helped me grow. So being a parent to her helped me be a better parent for my oldest and going on through and learning other things that I messed up with my middle daughter and then my son. I'm always jump on his head though. He- I'm always get him. Like
Yeah, he's on his board. He got you.
yeah, it's over with for him. He always go get it. But that's just what it is. So then I realized that I have to be a better example. And as I sit here in my building, 6,400 square feet, the gym will be here. I'm gonna have everything that I've ever wanted in one place. My kids get to see me live my dream. And that's because of the
Yeah.
influence of them. So that's when I said, man, it's cool. My kids love hearing, oh, we seen your dad on the internet, this and that. Like, you always want your kids to be proud. So for my kids to see these things makes me feel really good. And that's when I kind of say, I got to take this up a notch. Because now if I can do it, it's the old saying, Hallmark carded as it is, but you can do it too. And y'all have all the resources. I have resources, but I don't have what they have in 2000 and the 2000s. Yeah,
Oh
no
yeah.
excuse to y'all. Ain't no excuse. So they get to see
Yeah.
me live my dream. This is my dream. And they get to live there. They get to see it. If I did, I don't want to hear no excuses. Because your dad did it in his
Yeah.
40s, you know? Yeah.
When it was harder. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It
And
was harder for us.
back.
We were mad.
Yeah.
We couldn't look nothing up. We couldn't even research
I
nothing.
know. Yeah,
We
you
had to
got
go
that
to a
dial tone
library.
computer.
Man. So, I just want to make sure my kids have access to the resources and they can see, like, I tell these kids all the time, everybody got dreams. My dream was to own a jiu-jitsu academy with a gym in here and to help kids, underprivileged kids. And that's what I'm doing, you know?
Most definitely. Going back to where you said, you were raising your daughter to basically be a boy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? My girls, and that's where I caught myself as well. Because in the '90s, you know what I mean. There wasn't all this internet warrior talking. You know what I mean?
Hell no.
You gonna talk mess, and then okay, you're gonna duke it out. You're gonna shake hands. You're gonna walk away from it. And that was my problem with back when she was a teenager. Now she's 21. You know, but she came home and said, "Hey, this girl's picking on me. What do I do?" And I said, "What do you do?" I was like, "Whoop her ass." You know what I mean? We don't do kindly with bullies.
Right.
And so her brother being like 2 years, 1 or 2 years younger than her. I said, "All right, I'm gonna go get some boxing gloves right quick, and your brother gonna show you how to fight." My son, he's probably like this big, little bitty. And so I was teaching her how to fight, teaching her how to throw jabs, and I was like, "This is how we did it back in the day." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All this Snapchat talking crap and all that, we're not gonna do it. Well,
Yeah.
I get a phone call from the school, and I get to the school, and the principal's like, she busted the little girl face open, like she busted her face up. I was like, man, that's when it hit me like, man, this is not back in the day. You know what I mean? And
No.
I told her, I was
It,
like, look, we can't. I said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have showed you how to do that or whatever. And it's like it may become a reality because she's a female. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And she plays sports, and it's like, man, I was like, and my wife jumped on me. So that made it perfect. And so it's like, you can't be teaching her how to fight like a boy. You can't be teaching her that. So, well, I'm just teaching her to take up for herself. But I didn't think, she was gonna go
No.
full hold bars on because she was in powerlifting, track, softball. She
Yeah.
did all the stuff that I like doing. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Lifting weights and all that. And she was like, I want to be like dad. I was her role model, and you know I like to say I did a good job, because she's in college, but, I think
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when he did that, man, it was like, dude, I was like, I shouldn't have told her, I shouldn't have
And
told her to do that.
I had to flip it into the
Mm.
sport part for the because now you could coach. My daughter was a very good softball player and volleyball player. She was very good at both. She was a good athlete, so she picked up boxing really well when that was just me holding mitts. And I had to say to myself, okay, she got to learn how to train because what she's doing now is she's programming. If something happened to me, this is what I'm doing. But when you train,
Yeah,
it's a little different. Now you got to do rounds. Now you got to jump rope. So now that training is becoming a sport versus what can happen. And of course, she got into a couple things when she was younger, but she had a lot of self control. And the thing with her, my older, she was able to come to me and say, "Hey, Dad, look, I'm going. Okay, don't don't, that ain't nothing, right?" So she was able to tame it down, but she was wild, man. When she was young, man, and it was boys too. She was jumping on their head. I'm like, dude, this is out of control. But I did it. I did it
yeah,
because I was scared. Like I'm a single father, man. She got to be able to fight, and like you said,
yeah,
it just ain't the same, And we still want them to be able to defend themselves, but y'all don't have to jump to every situation like I did. Everything.
yeah,
Oh, you said what? Boom, I'm ready to go. So I just definitely don't want that for my kids at all.
yeah, most definitely, man. So when you're out in public and everything, you see everybody and everybody sees you. I know you said everybody says like you're the same guy as you are on the internet,
Mhm.
but what one misconception people have about you when they see you?
I'm not 5'5". Everybody,
Yeah.
I be like, what? Man, so I'm 5'8", right? 5'9"
Mhm.
if I stand straight up. I got a wrestler back. So, we still hunch over at noon. I'm starting to tittle over a little bit. So
Yeah.
they they always say, "Hey man, you taller than what I thought." I'm like, "And bigger." I'm like, "Bro, how tall you? I'm only 5'9". What do you mean? I'm 5'8" right now. Because it's 3 o'clock. I've been walking around all day, so I'm starting to slump. What you mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I'm with the biggest dudes ever. With Julius. Julius 6'4", TDC. Like them dudes is big, so they always say that. But one of the things is too, man, is when people approach me at these expos and stuff,
Mhm.
they so polite, right? Which is cool, right? But I'm still in the
Mhm.
mode of I'm just Brandon, so I'm kicking it, I'm having a good time. So when they come, "Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me, can I get a picture?" And I'm like, "Man, get your ass over here, take the picture." You know, like I'm like, "Man, yeah, come on." So they like, "Man, like, man, you a really nice guy." I'm like, "Do I not seem nice on the internet?" And they was like, "Well, no, I ain't saying that. It's just so I must come off which I stand on business, no doubt. But what
Yeah.
I think people don't understand is when I'm in those events, I'm such a fan myself that I'm looking at the people I follow, I'm trying to meet them too. So I'm having such a
Yeah.
good time in there. It's not like I'm not really on business then because it's all love
Yeah.
at those events. So when they come up, they almost seem timid sometimes, and I'm like, "Oh man, don't do that." And then the guy asked me how much it costs for a picture. I'm like, "Picture? What?" He like, I said, "You gonna pay for a picture?" Like, yeah. So I'm like, man, shit. All right, $100. Well, I said, bro, no, no, it don't cost me nothing. And like I said,
Yeah.
like the legends, Ronnie Coleman and them bringing those archive pictures out, man, them pictures that nobody ever seen before, like them old school pictures. Yeah, he can still
Yeah.
those. Ronnie Coleman is the legend. I'm the dude on the internet, bro. Like I ain't Ronnie Coleman. And
Yeah.
to be able to let people see that side of me is cool. I try to answer DMs back as much as I can. And then people say, man, I didn't think you were going to answer back. And I almost question them
Hey.
why,
Yeah.
but I know why. I know why, you know? And everybody busy, man, but I just made it a point to be more personable in a sense. You know, we can't be in every space because of or deal with everybody because we are on a platform and it can be looked upon if something don't go right. But I'm just not a fan of like being like the oh shoot, there he go. We don't want to talk to him. Like some of these booths I see, man, they way up top and which is cool, but I just rather be amongst people.
Yeah, man. And honestly, like you just said, like when I commented on your video and you responded back, I told my son, I said, look, man, I said, I said, Mr. Copeland, I said, he responded back. My son's like, yeah, right, Dad. Yeah, I said, too many people.
Oh no, dude. Hey man, listen, I see man, it's just I think what I went through in life, I think being almost murdered back in '04, and now you get to understand that how quick it can be over with.
Yeah.
When you look at and a lot of people don't like having that conversation. And I've been to more funerals than I've been to college graduations and weddings of
Hmm.
friends.
Yeah.
So a lot of people they're uncomfortable with that conversation. But I went through it. I've heard my mother talk about it. I've heard people around me what they felt when that was happening.
Hmm.
So for me, now that I get to be seen in a positive light and what it resonates with people, what I say, shit, man, I'm all ears, man. I want to talk, you know what I'm saying? I talk to everybody, even the trolls. I mess with them too. So I think that's the big misconception people have is that everybody on the internet is like that. And they really not. A lot of these guys I meet, Michael Hearn, good friend of mine, all these dudes, man, them is good people. You
Yeah.
know, they're a lot busier than me. There's a lot more going on, but they great people. And CT Fletcher mentored me through this. Kylie Muscle came up, unfortunately his health issues and stuff like that. But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be here.
Hmm.
Kylie is a whole different person because he experienced that near death.
Hmm.
So now he's a whole different avenue of how he views things. And I was always down with Cali, but Cali had to do what he had to do when he was Cali muscle jacked up and all that. But now
Hmm.
with his kids and his health thing he got going on, totally different person. And he in his season of now revealing that love that we always held in. Me and Cali almost the same. Before I got stabbed, man, I was hardcore, man. You can't ain't none of that. Ain't no punk stuff with me, right?
Hmm.
Until that knife went in and then I wake up in the hospital. Whoa, he almost killed me? Now you gotta think a little different. Because if
Yeah.
I left the earth that day, I was always the cool guy, right? But what would I really have been remembered for? Would
Yeah.
it be some super? So now, if I leave today, man, he was a book author. Man, he used to go visit prisons. He used to go around traveling, speaking to schools about anti-bullying. I got a list of things that was good work that I did
Yeah.
for people. My kids can say positive things about me.
Yeah.
That list, to be honest with you, wasn't that long back then. You know, that list wasn't that impactful. And I was young, so, wasn't mature enough yet. But the list now people can say, this is that, this is he did this, and we have it documented. Whereas then, I left
Hmm.
then, I didn't really leave a good mark. I was just a cool guy. He's just a dude running
Yeah.
around in the hood, running around at the bars. He was tough. I bet I would have heard that all the time. Oh, he would get down, man. I'd be at funerals hearing, oh man, you couldn't mess with him. I'm like, damn, but he in the casket though. So maybe, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe if he would have had a little bit more self control, he wouldn't be right here. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that I don't have to be remembered by that anymore.
Most
So
definitely. Yeah, man. So we're gonna switch over to strength, discipline, and fitness, brother. So what does strength mean to you beyond the weight room?
well, what weight room strength is just weight room strength. Period. It doesn't resonate into real life far as character. Does not resonate in character because it's the strongest people in the world could be the biggest cocksuckers in the world. That's point blank. So what being strong does here, it starts where you come in before you come in the door to the gym, to whatever, right? And the
Hmm.
person that person is going and lifting that weights, that's who you are. That's who that person is. When I come in here and lift, I think about not giving up. I always put myself in a position, not in here, I'm sorry, at the gym. When I come into the gym, I, bro, it don't matter what's going on, man. Give it. I put myself in the mind frame of, man, don't give up. I'm not going to, but there's days I don't want to do it, man. And then
Yeah.
well, you took 2 rest days. Okay, I don't want to, and you do got to let your body heal and rest. But I'm always in the man. Nah, man, you ain't about to give up. You got it. So I'll go to the gym. I'll take pre-workout and sit there and just watch people work out. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
let's go. I get my influence from that because to build the strength, you have to have mental strength to do it. Period. Weightlifting is hard. I don't people talk all that. Man, that shit hard. Especially when you get up there in age, especially when you're doing what I'm doing, jujitsu, wrestling, weightlifting, it's hard. So
Oh yeah.
you have to be a mentally tough guy to even be physically tough. Period. Nobody is just, hey, I'm super strong and my life's screwed out here. So I'm mentally weak out here. But I'll go to the gym and I'll bang it out. Nah, that's not how I work. You got to come in here with that same mentality. That's how you progress. When people do weight loss, I'm telling, and people gonna kill me for this. It is harder to do that.
Hmm.
That to stay that discipline. I want to lose 35 pounds. Whoo! That shit. Listen, I'll eat anything I want all day and get strong as I want. I'm not doing that now, but I get strong as I want. But when it comes to locking down, you can't eat what you used to eat.
Yeah.
A lot of people who gain weight, they got mental, they depressed, they go through this, they go through that. So you have to switch that all around and put yourself in a better mindset to actually reach your goals. That's
Yeah.
hard. That's
Yeah. That's
hard.
the only thing I'm doing right now, man. That's what I'm doing because I would like. I don't know if I told you last time we were talking. I was at 285, 290, and
Uh-huh.
I was like, man, I got tired of looking at myself like that. I
Yeah.
couldn't go play with my kids and all that. And the doctor told me, she's like, you have to change your eating habits.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggest, biggest challenges for me.
Yeah.
Because my wife, I got a Hispanic wife, you know what I mean, and she likes tortillas and frijoles and all that stuff, you know what I mean. And it's like, man, I have to like, I guess I don't have to give it all up, but I have
You're
to
right.
lower my portions. But then, and then like now, since I dropped from that to 240, you know what I mean, 244, um, it's like, okay, now that I'm in the gym, I've been in the gym for like a year and a half now. I'm starting to learn how to do fitness. lift weights and, train my body and all that. So it's like now I want to weigh my food. I want to count my calories, count my carbs and all
Yeah.
this. Like, man, I'm like, this is hard. I was like, I'm used to eating 2, 3 plates. Now going to like a half a plate. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know if I could do it. But my wife, my kids, the biggest support system in the world because like when I get a plate, she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I counted my carbs." I said, "I'm gonna go for extra service." She's like, "Well, all right, you gonna get extra service. That's an extra 30 minutes in the gym because you're gonna have to try to burn it off." You know, and it is true. It's easy to put the weight on, but it's
Yeah.
hard to take it off,
Man, when
and it's
I got
crazy.
into the fitness industry, man, and at the time I owned a gym on a
Mhm.
resort, and so we was out there, and resort food ain't always the best food. Now, mind you, I did have decent habits, so I didn't get out of control. However,
Yeah.
though, I got up to 303. What the
Mhm.
huh? And I said, and when I was told, I'll never forget, I was going through the airport. Man, this shit was
Mhm.
so embarrassing, man. Steve, this was embarrassing. I'm walking through the airport, and my lower back was so on fire, it was making my foot numb.
Mhm.
Looked at my dude, I was like, bro, something ain't right. He like, what? I'm like, dude, I don't feel. And then, people, oh, you so jacked. I'm like, jacked? Man, this is horrible. Man,
Yeah.
I'm sweating, man. Like, it was hurting so bad it made me sweat. I asked the dude, could I use his wheelchair? My dude had to push me, man, to through
Yeah.
there. That's embarrassing. So I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. So after that, I was like, I got to get this weight down. And I got it down to about 290, and I stayed there because I'm still doing the bench press stuff. So I wanted to stay there, and I felt
Mhm.
better. And then after that, after I finally hit my bench press peak, I said, nope, done. Now I'm 273. So I was like, I'm done. And it just feels a lot better. And that discipline, that's another thing that drove me was like, you got to stay on it, bro. You got to stay
Yeah.
going. You got to say this. You got to say that. Period. I got bad arthritis, all that. But you know what? Stay at it. So when I got the weight off, man, I ain't never feel better than this, man. Never.
Yeah. I understand where you come from because, like, when she told me I was borderline diabetic and that I had to drop my weight, you know, so I sat down as well, what I mean? I told myself, I was like, "What is my why? What's my inspiration? What's my purpose?" You know what I mean? And everybody I talk to, like, "What is your why? What is your purpose of
Yeah.
doing this? Why are you trying to do this?" And they asked me, "What's my why?" I said, "My wife, my kids, and my grandson." You know what I mean? That's my
Uh-huh.
why, and I want to be healthy. Because like you said, it is embarrassing being, like overweight and can barely walk and all that. Like my daughter, like she likes to go running 2, 3 miles just for the heck of it, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And when I try to get up and try to go work with her, run with her, it's like, man, I can't do this. I go 50 yards and I'm done. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, like you said, enough's enough. And
Yep.
then, dude, like going from that heavyweight to 244, dude. Oh, brother, I tell
Yeah.
you, like I feel lighter, I feel healthier, I feel wonderful. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like I'm stuck in between 244 to 240. I can't leave that plateau for some reason. You know what I
That's
mean? And
how it
it's like,
always is though when you do a big drop though. Like I was
yeah,
stuck at like 278 for a while, and then
hmm
I was like, well, maybe I need to clean something else a little bit more. And then when I started training jujitsu, it started coming back off. But that weight loss plateau is always there. People hit that shit
yeah,
all the time. But yeah, to change that, man, it's really mentally. That's what people don't appreciate fitness, man. I know they always talk about people who take stuff and that, but these dudes still work hard. Whoever takes stuff, they still work hard. If they got a good physique or whatnot, they still bust. And you still gotta be disciplined. And
yeah,
that's the biggest mistake because I get accused of shit all the time. And I told him, I said, yeah, you're right. I'm not natural, dude. I take so many damn peptides just to get this arthritis and shit flare down. I don't give a damn. I'm 40, about to be 46 years old. I'm taking some peptides. I don't care. So they kissing my ass, bro. And
yeah,
to be honest with you, I'm not opposed to TRT neither because here's the thing, man. I want people to understand the health risk of low testosterone. Man, I
Mhm.
talked to a dude, man. He's 40, 46. He gained 20 something pounds in like I think he said 8 months. And he was
Mhm.
like, man, Kong, I can't go to the gym no more. Like I can't even get going. Like I'll go and he's like, I'm gaining back fat. Like, what the hell? Now mind you, he played football in college. I'm gaining
Yeah.
back fat, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Let's go get your thyroid check, right? He said, already did. I'm like, no thyroid? I said, man, you might want to get your testosterone check. Oh man, I'm cool,
Mhm.
man. You me and the wife, eh, I would do it. Do it
Yeah.
when they got his shit checked. Estrogen high as hell. And what people don't understand, that can cause cancer. That can cause different cancer. So he went and did it. And he's like, dude, I gotta do TRT, man. He was right. So he did it. Man, he called me crying, man. Steve, this is no lie. He called me
Mhm.
crying like 4 months into it. He said, man, thank you so much. Because not only that, his mood was better. High estrogen, men ain't supposed to have high estrogen. Period.
Mhm.
So when people start talking about that stuff, and I'm talking about older people, I ain't telling no kid. Like I hate to hear kids talk about steroids, man. I swear, oh my god, that is nails on the chalkboard. I can't stand that shit, man. And kids have approached me at expos and asked me about it, and they always say the same drugs. Trend. I'm like, bro, what does it do? What does it do for you? What does it do? Or you
Yeah.
get jacked. Man, shut up, man. Get out of my face, little dude. Gone somewhere. So
Yeah.
I'm not opposed, but I think when you in that 35 and up range, and sometimes it ain't just you tired. It's not just you feel this because I was on the move and I went and got mine checked and I was still at a good level. So I was like, okay, well I'm gonna go with the peptides because it is arthritis and it's flaring. My elbow kept flaring up, and they have helped a tremendous deal. And then the doctor told me like, hey, you just make sure you stay on it because that can change quick. You cool
Yeah.
now. So, and I don't have, I'm telling you right now, mine ain't the highest either. So, uh, I just, for men in that range, I just wish we would do more of the health conscious stuff, getting checked. Or like you said, you went to the doctor and she told you. If you don't go to the doctor, you don't know.
Yeah. Most definitely.
And a lot of people won't go. A lot of people type 2 diabetes don't even hang went to the doctor. The doctor's like, well, you should have been here because you've been like this for, you see what I'm saying? So I try to encourage people, and people are so negative about certain things on the internet. Oh, we ain't taking that, but you drink and you pop pills. With
Yeah.
you drink and you pop pills, but you don't want to go get your doctor your health check. You don't want to go
Yeah.
do that, but you will drink all the time, smoke whatever. Cool, I ain't coming to you bothering you about it, but don't be upset when people talking about things that help save it. Like stop. I don't know. It just develops such a bad thing, man. And to be healthy, it and to not be healthy is gonna come with a cost. And people
Yeah.
so ignorant to it, man. They won't even go to get the check. Got insurance too, pay for it every month, but won't go.
Yeah. Crazy, man. So, question for you. So, you've broken the same bench press records. You know what I mean? What was the mindset behind pushing past your limits when you broke the bench press record?
So when I did that, and by the way, the Guinness Book of World Records, because they kind of screwed me. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I was 42,
Mhm.
and a guy from Ohio named Brandon Conley had did it with elbow wraps on. He did 60 reps of 225. And I said, you know what? I want to beat that at 42 years old.
Mhm.
So where I did that video was outside the bar that I was stabbed 9 times at.
Mhm.
That bench press record was done right outside that bar.
Yeah.
So it was it wasn't just about the reps. It was about almost 20 some years ago. At the time, what was that, 2022? So it happened to me 2004. So almost 20 years ago, you was laying in that floor in that bar fighting for your life.
Mhm.
Now you're gonna come out here and have an event with all these people, and you're gonna break a record
Yeah.
18 years later. So it wasn't even about the bench. It wasn't even about the bench. It was literally just I survived that right here on this same soil, and I'm about to do something even more better right here on that same soil. So that's
Yeah.
all that was. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. That's what's up, man. So when what's one trainer principle you wish more people understood, when they try to train to gain muscle?
Rest days, prioritize everything outside the gym first. That's
Hmm.
something that I didn't do. I wasn't doing my stretches. I just got back into that. Everybody think because I train jujitsu or me training jiu-jitsu helped a lot with the little flexibility that I have. That's number one. Everything comes from what happens outside the gym. All your results are going to come from that. How you sleep, how you eat, how you prioritize rest, all of those things is going to make you better in the gym. You may be just a genetic freak and you can go off 3 hours of sleep, up playing Call of Duty all night, whatever, go in the gym and you still look like Mr. Universe. But what
Yeah.
if you didn't? What if you didn't? What if you actually prioritize rest? What if you actually cut down a couple of them cheat meals a day? You look like
Yeah.
Mr. Universe now. What the hell would you look like if you did that? So it's everything that happens before you actually enter the gym that's gonna make you whatever you want to do. You want to get shredded, it's gonna happen outside the gym. You want to get strong, it starts outside the gym, whatever it may be.
That's what's up, man. So, okay, so how do you stay consistent on a day when you're like I think we talked about it last time. Like when I told you how do you stay consistent when your motivation is gone, it's not there? Like how do you stay consistent when your inspiration for the day is not there?
It's for me. It's just I don't really lose it because at that point it's like who am I going to disappoint, right? So
Mm.
if I'm not doing this, who am I going to disappoint? When you have people watching, we always got people watching that we don't know. These
Yeah.
kids in here, when the kids class come in here, these kids expect something from me. They
Yeah.
expect me to be hard on them. They expect me to take care of myself. I can't take a step back. Not only these kids, but my own. I can't take a step back because everybody says, "Well, fitness is, I did this for me." I don't just do this for me. If it was just for me, man, shit, man, you wouldn't even be on the phone. You wouldn't even know who I was if it was for me. So it wouldn't just be for me. That ain't enough. It's
Yeah.
for everybody else. It's for my kids. It's for these kids to have some type of somebody to look up to that they can actually see instead of watching on TV basketball players that they probably unfortunately would never meet or my physique, and it's not the greatest physique in the world by no means, but I am a representation of hard work. He's been doing this a long time. So I can
Yeah.
gravitate to men by looking like, oh, he big. And then when they come and meet me, then they can get everything else. Now they can get everything else. Now they can get the true lessons, the true mentorship and stuff like that. So for me, that motivation is always because somebody watching that you have no idea is. I posted in my
Yeah.
story, I don't know if you've seen it. A dad was like, "Man, I normally don't let my kids watch fitness influencers because a lot of BS on there, but man, I
Oh
encourage
yeah.
them to watch it." You see that? And that's
Yeah.
why. So that's one of the reasons why. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I bet you that made you feel good, man. Like it's like,
Oh
man, yeah.
shit. Man, I hit him up. I said, "Hey man, you don't be trying to make me soft, bro. Don't be trying to make me soft." But yeah, that's why because who we don't know who looking. We
Yeah.
don't know who looking. So that just drives me all the time that they gravitate to my content and I'm really just being me. So I gotta stay
Yeah.
on my game.
That's much respect right there, man. So what okay, so you know how we were talking about the young kids, trying to do steroids and all that. What's the biggest mistake you see when you see young men in the gym? Uh, what's the biggest mistake you see them making in the gym when trying to work out?
Rushing heavy lifts to post on Instagram, social media.
Yeah.
Hey man, I got some 15-year-old, 16-year-old motherfucker that's way more famous than I am. And
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, it's because they are damaging their body to do so. N-
Mhm.
Social media can make you a star ASAP. You ain't got to leave the house for some of the content, depending on what your content is. So now what I'm seeing with these kids, man, is especially bench press. Especially bench press. Bench press is the one thing, unfortunately, my favorite lift, but it's the one thing you can fake. And this is what I mean by faking. You can put on all this shit to lift these heavy lifts. I see captures of teenagers, 19-year-old boy benches 750. That don't make sense. That dude ain't been to the gym 750 times. So you watch the video, there's 90 people around him. He got on a slingshot, got on elbow sleeves, he got on a Thor hat, whatever. He got everything, right? 6 million views, 200,000 followers. So now in his mind, he has to continue to go. Now
Yeah.
you're going to try the 800. Then the pec tear. Then somebody's wrist got broke. Then you see the dropping on the neck. I'm doing a video about that. I'm about to edit that tonight. So when these kids see these influencers, and a lot of the influencers don't give them the true game. Hey, we use these pieces of equipment for progressive overload. We don't train like this all the time. But
Yeah.
they selling these wraps. They selling these things. And Joe Tomarello, good friend of mine, he will say it like, man, hell no. I couldn't lift it without these wraps. I use this for progressive overload. He's probably one of the only, and he's starting to get more into talk because he never really talked this content, but he's starting to get more into speaking about the way he trains and training people, right?
Yeah.
But people get caught up in those viral videos and they want to emulate them. And a 19-year-old who ain't developed density and all that, you shouldn't be putting that much weight in their hand.
Yeah.
And you see these kids get hurt. So that's the one thing that bothers me about these kids. Like, they go and they try to rush these lifts for a small portion of fame and attention when the next kid gonna come do it and you ain't gonna be nobody. So now they gotta do all these other lifts. They gotta do all these other incredible things that their body truly can't handle.
Yeah. And just yeah, man. When I see some of these kids coming in there and they're putting all this weight, because like I go to a gym called American Fitness. And, I see like I go Tuesday through Friday. Every now and then I'll sneak in on the weekends when I get off work. And I see these group of kids surrounding each other with all this weight on there, man. It's like, man, I like hope you know what you're doing, man, because just because you got all these people around, you're trying to look tough. I was like, man, one wrong move and it's done with. You know what I mean?
The little
And so
dudes in
it's
my
like, man,
gym, I don't even spot them no more. If I see
yep,
them benching all the time and trying to put up weight that I know they can't handle, like, hey, call and spot me. What? No, I don't spot them. I don't even spot them. Nope, I ain't doing it.
yeah, it's crazy. All right, so the anti-bully mission. Okay, so you're known for speaking in school and helping kids. What sparked that mission?
Well, it was when back in 2012 when or I'm sorry, 11, when I first started dedicating to teach kids jujitsu. That's when I
Hmm.
originally started. I was training for my last fight, which wound up getting postponed to 2014. I
Hmm.
was training for that last fight, and I had went through a lot of depression. I was 302 pounds of no muscle. There's muscle under
Yeah.
there. So I went through a real bad depression, and I'll never forget it was a Uh, Thanksgiving 2000, I fought in 2014. It was Thanksgiving 2013. No, I'm sorry. I started in 2012. So it was Thanksgiving 2014 and 13, and I get a call saying, "Hey, you want to fight light heavyweight?" I was like, "Sure." Now, mind you, it's the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm 303 pounds of fat. I want to fight light heavyweight. When? They said May. I said, "Yep, I'll take it."
Yeah.
Went there. And let me tell you something, not sweet potato pie, pecan pie, macaroni and cheese. I made sure, because I knew what I was about to go through. And
Yeah.
in that 7 months, I lost 72 pounds.
Hmm.
So through that process, I started teaching kids, and I kept getting Oh, you get bullied at school. I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean bullied at school? What do you mean? Oh, they pick on them and then they text them and then they post it on social media and they make pages. I'm like, oh, we didn't have that. So that's
Yeah.
why I don't understand why it's so bad. So what happened was I start posting about it on my regular because I ain't have nothing but Facebook. I would just
Yeah.
post on there, and then a church called me. Hey, you want to come speak to the youth group? Sure. Then it just spiraled, and then I started getting statistics, and I started noticing that kids young as 8 years old was committing suicide from it. 8 years old. I'm like, man, I've done a lot of things as a hobby longer than 8 years.
Yeah.
How the hell you ready to check out now? Well,
Yeah.
I understood that we could get away from it. No, I was never bullied, um, picked on. I was the bully because I was an insecure kid. I
Hmm.
was short, had a size 12 shoe. Everybody thought I was gonna be 6 foot, 6'2". Shit, it didn't make it. So I used to get cracked on all the time, being a little big head dude. My head was too big for my body and all that. So I became the guy who was going to protect himself by being the funny dude.
Yeah.
And then if it wasn't cool, I will fight. So I was just all out butthole for years growing up, fighting all the time, cracking jokes, hurting people feelings, girls, boys, it didn't matter. And once I realized that it was because I was insecure, then I knew how to deal with kids. That's how I
Hmm.
started my behavioral health program too. Because if you bullying somebody, you're not a secure person. Who walks around confident people uplift, insecure people tear down. So you
Yeah.
may have all the Jordans, you may have all of this and that, you may got the nice haircut and all the nice clothes, but why are you picking on somebody who don't got it? Oh, what's wrong with you? And you know what I found out? Oh, his dad ain't in his life, and that boy dad is. They might not have
Mm.
everything, but he can spend Christmas with his father. He
Yeah.
doesn't. Daddy didn't bring you them Jordans. Daddy don't take you to the Bulls games and stuff like that. This kid, daddy, man, they didn't have everything, but that man, daddy, worked his butt off taking the Pistons games.
Yeah.
So he was picking on him because of his father. And that kid actually was honest to me and told me that. He was jealous of that. So then it started making me keep data. Okay, so I'm gonna pick. Hey, why you mad? Oh, you crack. So why you not confident? What's wrong with you? A lot of kids would tell me. Some of them wouldn't, but a lot of kids would tell me why they
Yeah.
was doing it. It was always the insecure thing. So I knew how to approach it because of what I was doing as a
Yeah.
child.
That's what's up, man. So, um, what's one story from a school that you visited and then that you spoke to at what's one story that stuck with you when you went to go speak at a school?
I was two situations. One that happened at my even when I was training at the MMA school, the kids, a kid came in and he would get beat up every day. Every day they would pick on this kid.
Mhm.
He tried to commit suicide. I'm like, damn. So I'm talking to this foster mom, and she said, Randy, tell him what you really feel. And this is where I realized words was the worst. He said, Coach, I don't care about getting beat up. I'm not a fighter.
Yeah.
But what I care about when they talk about my mom being died of an overdose and my dad left me, that hurts the most. Damn. That right there, I said, you mean to tell me that the bruises don't hurt on the outside? It's the one on the inside. We
Yeah.
gotta, we gotta, we gotta talk about it. So that was one that really made me really dig into that situation and realize how powerful words are, right?
Yeah.
Another one was a girl from Raymer school in my city. That was the first school I ever spoke at. Man, the principal said, I want you to look at her and her and make sure they're paying attention. I'm like, okay. And they was locked in glued because I guess they were terrorists.
Hmm.
4 years later, she hit me up in the DM. I just want to thank you for changing my life and this. And I'm like, who the hell is this? So I said, well, I appreciate the compliments, but where did I change your life at though? What did I do? She said,
Hmm.
oh, I'm so sorry you came and spoke to my school when I was younger, about 4 years ago, and it felt like you were talking directly to me. I said, damn. So those types of things I was like, man, that's really helped you develop an understanding of what purpose is. Because I didn't
Yeah.
go to college. I don't have a psychology degree. When I'm homed in on something, I study.
Yeah.
And without the paper, without those, I have experience though. And a
Mhm.
lot of people not knocking education because I feel like it's great, but a lot of people who don't have any groundwork, who don't got their boots on the ground, they really can't relate fully to these situations. So
Yeah.
status don't
Man.
mean nothing, man. I've read some of them books. I've like the stat, blah, blah, what the hell? Neighborhoods change every day, bro. In the city, them households change every 5 minutes. It could be
Yeah.
2 kids in there. Now the boyfriend moved in with 4 kids. Now he get kicked out, another boy. So these situations change. That stats and all that bull, that don't matter because these kids have different environments on a regular basis, especially
Yeah.
foster kids, you know? So I had to go off experience and what I've went through with my feet on the ground. And it worked.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. So, how do you teach kids the difference between strength and intimidation?
Well, um, jujitsu is one. It's one equalizer. You Your strength don't matter here. Your strength don't matter here at all. And you don't intimidate nobody here. So when kids
Yeah.
come in these doors and they look at somebody smaller, and I hear these little dudes all the time. Oh, I want to go against him. Do you not? You sure? Why not? Okay, buddy. Come on. Or if I got an experienced girl, tighten him up. Tighten him up. So now you ain't nobody scared of your size. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody scared of you trying to call nobody out. Okay, so now let's learn that that's not what we do here. Because I'll let her get away with it once, or
Yeah.
maybe twice. It depends on who it is. If he really, man, go ahead. I'll pull little dude to the side. Man, tighten him up for me real quick. Don't hurt him, but let him know that this don't matter here.
Yeah.
Man, how you do that? And I'm much bigger than him because that don't matter. How y'all think I started? The big dude, the big wrestler dude who had the closest person to my weight was 60 pounds lighter than me. Kicked my
Yeah.
butt for 3 years, every day. So I didn't have no ego though. I didn't care. I would get my butt whooped and I would sit there and think like, damn, what'd he just do? So now I started making goals for myself. This was my getting better to my mind. Okay, we rolling for 5 minutes. He tapped me 3 times in 5 minutes. Next week, I only got tapped twice.
Yeah.
Next week, maybe once. Now I'm not getting tapped, but they kicking my ass still. But I'm
Hmm.
getting better because now I'm defending submissions. Guess what? I tapped him. Oh man. So I went through the gauntlet and used it as a learning tool. And that's what I try to teach these kids. That coming in big and intimidating this and that, get the little dude. That's what you do. Stick the little person on them. So now they know if I take my butt out there, I don't know what nobody know. So I better keep my mouth closed.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. So, um, what do you want bullies and victims to understand?
Both understand that it's a confidence issue for both of y'all.
Hmm.
That's it. You need to understand that the reason why you affected this bad by this situation is because you feel bad about yourself already. The reason why you are making that person feel bad about themselves, is because you feel horrible about yours. You feel even worse because you know that person don't really want no problems, don't this, don't that. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to home in to what makes you feel that way so you can stop that. And I want you to home in to what makes you feel like that so you can prevent that. Because if you carry yourself with confidence, nobody gonna bother you. Real confidence. People can see
Yeah.
some of these people, they know when somebody's faking or not.
That's what's up, man. So, if you don't mind, if we can move on to your books, and so what inspired you? Like, I know, we talked a little bit about it earlier today, but what inspired you to write the New Kid?
So back in 2012, it was a bad snowstorm, and we literally missed 31 days of school.
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Ugh." Like it was level 3 every damn day. I live in Ohio, bro. Oh my God. So what happened was I watched a movie called The Words.
Hmm.
And I was like, damn, I can write a book. They're going to write a book. What? Like, I'm even talking to myself like, what you mean you going to write a book? Like, what the fuck? How you going to write a book? But I'm fascinated with, I love Marvel, loves, my favorite character was Incredible Hulk growing up, all that good stuff, right? So I said, man, I'm going to write like a children's book then, an anti-bullying, and the hero in the book is going to be a gorilla. Big dude, muscular dude. He gonna come through because he big and scary, but he's a problem solver.
Yeah.
You better not mess with him, but he don't come with that energy. He looking like, so my idea of the book was the kids, if you see this big massive creature that can just pop you in your head and squash you, and if he don't go around picking on nobody, why should you? So that was the
Yep.
thing behind the first book I wrote. And the
Yeah.
first book I wrote was called The New Kid. It was about a kid who grew up on a farm and he dressed different because this actually was a situation, kind of. I just loosely based it off a situation. But he was a really good athlete, played soccer really well. So when he came, these kids in the in the city, they dress nice, they do this, this, and this. It's a little different lifestyle. And they was picking on him.
Yeah.
And they never gave him a chance to play with him, nothing like that. Well, what they didn't know that he was a great soccer player. So in the book, what I had portrayed was they was picking on him, and the gorilla would come like Batman. He would just show up, and he would have these conversations and conflict resolutions. And I was like, damn, I came up with that. So then, fast forward to 2017, this guy hit me up. Shout out to Sean Reed, because if it wasn't for him, this book never would have made it. He said, man, you ever wrote a book? I said, damn, I did. He said, no, seriously. I was like, I did 6 years ago. He said, you got it? Yeah. He said, email it to me. Emailed it. He called me. Can I have your phone number? Gave me his phone number. Gave him my phone number. He said, hey, man, you don't know how to place it? But, bro, you got something. What you mean? Man, I'm going to get this published, man. I got a publishing company. Really? And he did. 2018, a new kid came out. Went on a little book tour, went some signings, rent to schools, read it to schools, and it was cool. COVID kind of screwed a lot of stuff up. It was so much going on in my life with the gym, and then the fitness industry hit up. But that book was such a pivotal point in my life because my grandmother came to my first book signing. My mother was there, and my grandmother never got to see me speak publicly. And she seen me speaking at the book signing, and she was like, man, I looked up there and said, damn, that's my grandson up there. So where I'm from, grandma was queen. Mama, you can't mess with mama. But grandmama, though, ooh, grandma was queen.
Yeah.
And we have grown up, all of us grew up to impress grandma.
Yeah.
Grandma used to tell us, man, hey, I don't come to see nobody sit on the bench. You're like, damn. But we got to get on the field. We got to get on the court, whatever it was. Grandma ain't coming to the game. That was her psychological way of pushing us. Y'all better work hard. We be out in the yard all day and night, running routes, tackling drills, all that. So for her to get to see that was huge for me. But yeah, that's how that came about, man. Sean Reed, man. Dusha Management, shout out to Sean Reed. He set up all my engagements, and dude, it was just like I said, COVID it was too much going on.
Yeah.
It was too much going on. But now I can circle back. Now that I got my feet on solid ground, I can circle back and rerun it,
That's what's up, man. That's awesome because you answered basically like in that one message right there. You answered the next two questions. So my next question for you is, are we making another book anytime soon?
If I do, I'm not gonna say no, but if I do, I'm big into writing. That's what people didn't understand, man. I love writing. And I don't know if you've seen I post this before, but I was casted for the movie Smash Machine.
Oh yeah.
And I posted the email and the script that I had. And I was getting ready to fly out to Vancouver And for those y'all gonna watch and say, yeah, right, it's on my social media, so go find it. It's on there. I promise you. It was about a guy named Mark Kerr who's from my city, and he
Mhm.
did a documentary. Mark Kerr was he was a UFC champion, and then he fought in Pride, but he's a
Mhm.
good wrestler. So he's from my city, and the gym I work out at, I've been there. Ironworks Gym, Jimmy Momini, the first professional bodybuilder in our city. I've been around him since I was 19 years old, and that's his good friend. And I was at the Arnold Classic, and this lady come up. She said, "Hey, I've been following you on social media. I want to talk to you for a minute." She said, "We're doing a movie called the Smash." Oh no, we're doing a movie about a UFC fighter who got addicted to drugs and this and that. I said, "You talking about the Smash Machine?" She said, "Yeah, how do you know?" And I explained to her, like, look, I watched that documentary 1,000 times. I was like, and I'm from the same city he's from. But
Yeah.
The Rock announced it 4 years prior.
Mhm.
So we was waiting for it to happen and it never happened. Well, obviously it did now. So
Yeah.
I got my first role was to open the scene getting the hell beat out of me by The Rock by a guy that Mark Kerr fought in Brazil.
Mhm.
Cool shit. I'm about to get beat up by The Rock first thing. At least you can get to see me for a quick minute. Well, when I did the actual audition with
Mhm.
Benny Safidi and I can't remember her name, but she is a casting director for A24 Films. What's her new name? But she casted like the show Euphoria and all that stuff. She's great. And she loves raw talent.
Mhm.
So when I did the interview, they was like or the audition online, Zoom, they was super impressed. So a week later, the assistant called me. She said, "Hey, do you mind being in a bigger role? Do I mind being in a bigger role? What? Yes, please put me in a bigger
Well,
role."
oh, definitely, yeah.
And they was loving it. And 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave to go shoot, uh, it went to the last chopping block of the scenes,
Mhm.
and the budget took it.
Ah,
Yeah, the budget took it. So I always wanted an authentic MMA movie that
yeah.
had little to do with MMA because of the
Mhm.
mental health stuff that goes on with it. So I got into writing, and I got a young lady who manages Kai Green that we were speaking about getting some of my getting this particular material. I wrote a pilot for MMA based series,
Mhm.
and I want to touch on everything outside the cage that happens that people don't get to see or know because everybody got to be so tough. But when that cage door opens and you walk out and you go out and you go home, life hit. You can't be that
Yeah.
person no more. And a lot of struggles that I went through when I was competing, and I was not on a high level of MMA, but I was on a level enough that I knew you had to train, and if that cage door closes, you were him. And
Yeah.
and for me, it was horrible. It made me too crazy. Like
Yeah.
I became too aggressive. So MMA wasn't good for me at all. Jiu-jitsu is perfect for me. It's a
Yeah.
thinking game. It's this, and MMA is too. But jiu-jitsu, I like being a martial artist more than a fighter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So I got so something a little fun right now is called rapid fire. So what's your favorite cheat meal?
Damn, shit. You ain't got time for that because that's about 1,000 of them. But if I had to, if I narrow it down to one, man, I am a huge burger dude, man. Burger dude, and tacos would be second.
Your hardest lift,
225, 81 times.
most underrated exercise.
Ooh, the lateral raises, shoulders.
Okay. What's one thing people would be shocked to learn about you?
I can sing.
That's what's up. Okay. One message you'll give. What one message you would give to your younger self?
Shit, a lot. But one of the main things is stop being so naive to company. Everybody is not cheering for you. They might be wearing the same team colors, but they might be giving your playbook away. I had a lot of fake friends. So
Yeah,
be
that's what's up,
careful
man.
who you show love to.
Yeah, keep your circle small.
Yep.
So, okay, so we're gonna let you close it up, man, because you did me you've been on here with me for like over an hour, man, and I really do appreciate it.
Oh
So,
man,
in
I
closing,
appreciate being
man,
here.
when people hear the name Midwest Kong, what do you want them to feel and learn, and then also remember?
That's good, man, because one of the reasons why I don't show as much lifting content anymore and it's more of the personality stuff, I want them to start with the weightlifting stuff being secondary, with the martial arts stuff being secondary, or the message behind the weightlifting and the message behind the actual martial arts. So, and then remember that I'm a book author too and a father. That's the coolest accomplishments I have.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. I actually just my book, man. I just put a book on Amazon Kindle.
Oh, you
It's
did?
not perfect, whatever, but I got it on Amazon. It's called Anchoring God. Going through like everyday life struggles and like you can do stuff. Yeah, you can do stuff on your own, but when you give it to God, basically He could help you get through it easier and all that. Especially the struggles and all that stuff, man. It's a really good book, man. It took me like over a year to get it.
Hey man, send me the link in my DM so I can post it.
No, that's what's up, brother. I do appreciate
Yeah,
it. So, any
yeah.
shout out, anything you want to give out, or anything
Oh
before we
man,
go?
shout out to everybody who's in the gym and worrying about themselves. And listen, at the end of the day, when you change your lifestyle and you become healthy, you become very offensive to people. Don't let that take you off the course. Shout out to all the people who rather talk it out than fight it out and pull a gun out. If you want to fight, if you want to learn how to fight, train a martial art that will prevent you from fighting. Because fighting is a skill, not an emotion.
That's what's up, man. All right, man. Hey, man, I really do appreciate you, man. Hey, sit tight right quick after I end this video. Catch up with you right quick before we go. All right.
Yes, sir.